Hello and welcome to the Easily Excitable podcast. My name is Tom and with me this week is Spencer. Hey man, how's it going?
I'm good. I'm cold.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, for some reason in the past hour and a half, our office air conditioning unit has all of a sudden gone into warp drive. And it did this a couple times last week too, where just it momentarily, like for no reason, just and you can't really tell over Skype, but I mean, I could cut glass with my nipples right now.
Oh no. I think the thermostat in the manager's office who's next to where I sit, I think his thermostat just isn't in his office because every time you go in, it's like 12 degrees. And he's like, oh, it's set to 20, so it's fine. And it's just like, oh no, it is not fine. This does not feel fine. So yeah, I'm sure it's like down the other end of the room, which is quite nice and moderately warm from time to time. It's usually about 22, 23 degrees. So
Our building was built back in the early 60s, I want to say. And I mean, there's thermostats all around. We have no idea if any of them actually function or are connected. I mean, there's one. I mean, and this was my side is actually a relatively newly renovated space about 10 years ago now, and I don't even think my thermostat is connected to anything. I really don't.
Oh,
it's just there. You go, hey, spin the dial, ain't gonna do nothing. You know.
Fair enough. How was your adventure across Canada?
It was good. It was actually. I mean, there was no rest whatsoever. No, you know, he was. The little fella did shockingly well on the plane. He did better than we did, to be perfectly honest. He got more shut eye flying across the country than we did. Especially coming back, we flew to Calgary, which was a 6-hour flight. He slept for I'd say about 3/4 of it. I never slept for any of it. Neither did my wife. My wife is not a good flyer. She hates flying completely and utterly. But flying back, our flight out of Calgary was left at 11 o'clock at night. He was asleep before we even pulled away from the gate, and we had to wake him up when we touched down in Halifax 4.5 hours later.
Nice.
And then we got to my brother's place, and he found the nearest surface that he could lie down on and went right straight back to sleep. He was like, "Yep, done, Daddy, gone."
Nice.
And he stayed asleep till about 11 o'clock in the morning. I was like, "All right, kid, power to you." But I mean, I never slept the whole flight because he was sitting between myself and my wife, and every 5 minutes he'd either stir or stretch out a little bit or something like that, or the kid in the aisle across from me decided to freak out every half an hour.
Oh.
So, I mean, poor little guy. I mean, he's obviously he didn't want to be there.
Yeah.
And I there was no getting upset with him. There was no point.
No,
it's just like, oh, I'm sorry, kid. Oh, I'm sorry, kid. But I mean, it just meant that every time I was getting ready to nod off to sleep,
yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, so
well.
I was completely jacked up from sleep deprivation for about 2 days after that. So yeah,
crazy.
But it was good.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, that's what I was going to ask. Like the whole trip was good. You went across. Where is Calgary in relation to where you are?
Calgary is. Well, Calgary, I'm actually a little bit closer to Calgary, to you than I am to Calgary.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, it's about equidistant, I suppose. Calgary is at the eastern foothills of the Rocky Mountains, and the Rockies start in sort of along the British Columbia, Alberta border. And, yeah. Matter of fact, it's so close to where I was. Is so close to BC that the the smoke from the BC wildfires was starting to affect the air quality in Calgary a couple days before we left. And my buddy Mike, who we were up there visiting, he texted me a picture about 2 days after we left. We were still in Halifax. He was like, "Yeah, I'm glad you guys got out of here when you did," because he works at the airport, and he sent me a picture of him looking out of his hangar that he does his job at there was a big jet tail of a jet plane in the foreground, and it was supposed to be the Calgary terminal in the background, but you couldn't see it. and everything was orange. And it was 2:00 in the afternoon.
Oh my god.
It was 2:00 in the because he sent it to me. Well, I mean, obviously, it's 3.5 hours. 3.5 hours time difference between us and Alberta.
And that's the same between me and you as well in time difference.
No, it's 2.5 between me and you, isn't it? Yeah. What time is it there now?
4:50.
Yeah, 3.5.
Yeah, it's 3.5.
Yeah. So yeah. Yeah, I said equidistant, didn't I?
Yeah. I was like, oh, that's symmetrical too. Hey.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So yeah, 3.5 to. So he sent that to me. I got that in the morning. I was like, oh wow. And it only got worse the next day. And further north in Alberta, it was even worse. Like in Calgary, it was 9 or 10 in terms of air quality, which is bad. And in Edmonton, I think they were at a 10 plus.
Ooh.
Yeah. I mean, a couple days ago, what was it, Saturday? Yeah, Saturday around here this past weekend, we were actually seeing residual high atmospheric smoke from the BC wildfires, as well as some of the US wildfires in our area. Like I was looking out, it was 7 p.m. I was looking straight at the sun out through my kitchen window, and all it was a pink orb in the sky. And the sky was just gray. There was no cloud cover. It was smoke.
Yeah.
It was wild, man. It was just... Yeah. Yesterday it wasn't so bad.
On Twitter?
What?
Did you post that on Twitter?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I thought I'd seen it, and I was just like...
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, you couldn't really smell it per se, but it made everything look real creepy.
Mm-hmm. I can imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, like, one of the things I always think of, like, when I'm flying over to the States is that when I get over Canada, like, particularly over where you are, I'm like, oh, I'm nearly there. And I'm halfway through my 8-hour journey.
Yep.
I'm just like, oh no. Every time.
At least you're over land again.
Yeah. At least I'm over land.
You know.
So, yeah. It's at least.
At least, yeah. Wait, you're actually soon going, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm just waiting for immigration paperwork and like my apartment sale to like get finalized and
right.
Yeah, my replacement employee started on Monday last week.
Yeah.
And like I'm trying to get through teaching her everything before I leave. We're looking at all the documentation that we've got, and she's like, this is all really wordy, and I'm just like, yeah, it's kind of a hangover from an old system, so we need to go through it all. And she's just like, why didn't you go through it all? I was just like, I've been busy, there's only one of me. And she's just like, so the next few months? I was like, there'll be 2 of us, so we can fix it, because we'll have time because there's 2 of us.
Yeah.
And then she was like, and what
Many
about
hands,
after? I'm just like, well, that's your problem then.
I say, yeah, it's just like, have fun with that.
Yeah.
See ya.
But yeah, and trying to leave it in a good condition. So yeah, we've got some good understanding, and I'm looking forward to like actually getting stuff done over the next few weeks.
That's good. I mean, and also, I mean, if you guys get through a lot of it, you can sort of usher in the new, more concise system.
Yeah, absolutely. There's some things we've already been working on. She's only been there for a week, so I'm optimistic about what we can achieve.
Good.
And yeah, I'm looking forward to getting stuff done. And it's also quite motivating to have someone sitting around that's also in the same boat as me. And she's like, okay, we've got all this stuff to get done. Let's get it done before we essentially run out of time. So yeah, it's quite refreshing and yeah, understandable.
Yeah, but I mean, there's no actual like D-Day or anything like that. It's still a little bit open ended, right?
Yeah, it's still open ended at the moment. I was initially saying I was going to leave at the end of October, but my apartment hasn't sold. That's 2 months away, and the immigration paperwork is likely to be handed to the UK, the US Embassy in London, mid-November at the earliest. So
okay.
Getting out of the job, but at the same time I wanted to go on like a 3-week tour around Europe with my dad, so I don't know, there's swings and roundabouts at the moment because there's things I want to do but I should probably not leave until I've got it. And then like if I'm staying in the job as well, I can keep earning money. But
yeah,
I do want to get out of there because now there's someone there to replace me. My time will come where I'm useless. So I just need to be aware of that.
yeah. It's like, Buzz, hi, still here. I know she's doing a great job and everything, but hi.
Yeah, I don't want to overstay my welcome and like just hang around for the sake of hanging around and having a job. But really, everything is contingent on me getting my apartment sold, which is just up in the air, and I just wish it was done.
Yeah.
But
have you had much interest in it?
Yeah, I mean, there's been someone that we've been trying to sell. Like, I've had a buyer for 4 months, but it's held up at solicitors because it's just being held up because there's things that need addressing. And I've taken everything out of there. You might be able to tell I'm in a completely different location from where we last chatted.
Yes, very much so.
I'm at my parents' house. It's been 4 months since we last chatted. Because this is episode 116. The last time we recorded was episode 100.
That's right.
So it's been 4 months.
Yeah, that's a long time for us, brother. Time.
Yeah, but I haven't had a Friday free because I've been like going to Boxercise and stuff like that, and that's really the only time I had free. You were busy on Fridays doing like lectures and things like that, recording.
Yeah,
like that.
my summer's been pretty chock a block with stuff. Usually summers are a little bit notice, and it's been a thing. Mm-hmm. It's been a thing, man.
Yeah, so like I've been very aware that like I haven't been able to catch up with you for a while, so I was like, oh no, and then yeah, today's a bank holiday in the UK, so I was like, yeah, I might as well use the time to get a podcast recorded with Spencer and like, yeah, reach out, catch up, and I've sent you over some music earlier in the day, which was like, yeah,
I enjoyed that.
Cheers. And then yeah, I was trying to like, there's 2 sections to the song so far, like a heavy bit and a like somewhat clean bit. And the heavy bit, like, it's okay. It's mediocre pace. But I was trying on my guitar earlier. Like, I opened up just an empty file and I was like, okay, what can I do if I played this as fast as I could? And I'm just like, yes, that's what I want. So I'm probably going to, like, start a second file and start recording it in there at, like, this much faster pace. And just, yeah, probably send that over to you. But, yeah.
That'd be cool.
I've got some music ideas.
Good.
Yeah. There's one track I'm working on that's in 9/8, and it's just absolutely mental. I'm just like, how does this all work? But it just seems to be able to play it, and I'm just like, this is okay, I guess.
Good God.
But I've only got like 4 ideas in it. I'm just like, oh, I kind of want like 3 or 4 more, and then I can like flesh it out into a song. And then yeah, my problem at the moment is I'm sitting around and I'm just like, okay, I want to write these songs, and I'm moderately confident that I might be able to sing over them, but I've not got any practice in writing lyrics, so I'm just like, oh, I don't really know what I'm doing.
Yeah. I completely always abdicate the writing of lyrics to someone else just because I know I suck at it. Mm-hmm. I know I suck. If I do an impersonation of a pissed off Kermit the Frog, I could probably sing something. Mm-hmm. But only if I sound like a pissed off Kermit the Frog. So there's that. Hence, I'll never be singing. You won't hear me singing any lead in any 1551 ever. Ever. I can do background harmonies because I can blend those as softly as I want.
Yeah, my voice is definitely in there.
Oh yeah, no, we've been working on some stuff because although we're not going to release anything until like basically we're finishing an album. Mm-hmm. All the singles that we've had before are going to be on this as well. Yep. But we're working on some additional material as well. But we're not releasing anything until the album is done. Mm-hmm. But the one that we finished shortly before I went on vacation, I got a lot of harmonies on that one, and I did my best Alice in Chains impersonation. Nice. In terms of how I wanted to harmonize it, and it turned out really, really well. I'm very pleased with it, and yeah, it's good. I like it. It's a very cool tune. It's different for us, and I like it very much.
Nice. I wrote myself a list of things to do the other week. and on it, like near the bottom of the list, was write crap lyrics. Because if I tried to write good lyrics, they'd probably be crap. So why don't I just be like, get over and done with, and just
Set
write
that
crap
bar
lyrics
low.
to start with? Yeah. So yeah, I've been trying to write some stuff, but it's not going particularly well. I'll be honest, but it's fine.
I don't know, but what you sent me earlier today was rather nice. I enjoyed that.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and put more to that, but yeah, we'll talk about that some other time.
Yes.
Probably not while we're recording.
No, I agree. That is a good idea.
Yeah, there's some musical ideas there that are quite fun. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Yeah. Have you been listening to anything interesting recently?
No,
Okay.
I actually have not. Oh, that's not true. I listened to a bit of the new Imagine Dragons stuff.
Okay.
Because I think that got released either shortly before I went on vacation or while I was on vacation. I don't know because it was a little blurry. And yeah, I've heard a couple singles off it. And I like it. I like it a lot.
Nice.
Yeah. I tried. I had grand intentions on, consuming music. Just trying to listen to a few different things while I was on vacation. Foolishly thinking that I would have some semblance of free time.
Mm-hmm.
That didn't happen because it was field trips, which were very cool. Don't get me wrong. I'm glad we did them. But, by the 5th day in Calgary, we were like, hey, boss, what do you want to do today? Nothing. Can we hang out here today? Like, yes, we can. That's a great idea. Let's hang out here.
Nice.
So we hung out there and it was great.
Cool. Yeah, there's a new track by a band called Shining that's just come out. Like, it's called Animal, and it's like this awesome hard rock song. But the band play like this hybrid black metal jazz style for the most of the other stuff that I know them for.
Okay.
And like this hard rock style song, I'm just like, oh, this doesn't sound right at all for this band, but it's really good. So I am so conflicted right now.
That's all right. They probably they probably didn't intend it for that to start to end up like that when they probably started writing it, but they followed their music hard.
Yeah. And yeah, it's a really good track. I like, Animal by Shining is really, really good track. I've been listened to that a few times, but
check that out.
I've kind of spent way too much time listening to podcasts over music over the last week. I'm like, because I was listening to music sitting at my desk, and the last week and the next few weeks are going to be not sitting at my desk or sit at my desk with my replacement nearby.
Right.
I can't just be antisocial and sit with headphones in for whole days on end.
Well, you could, but that would make you a jerk.
I know, right? So I've had to I've dropped how much music I'm listening to. I'm just like, I need music to live. Ugh. So I've not really been listening to that much music, but there's certainly things I'm looking forward to. Especially the new Soilwork album. Soilwork, probably one of my favorite heavy bands, and they have been for years. So I'll just wait for that to come up whenever it comes.
Right on. I don't even know if there's anything coming out soon that I'm interested in, because I kind of toned out, just kind of zoned out of it for a little while.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I'm kind of relying on things popping up on Spotify to be like, this is new this week. So that's really handy, because otherwise, I won't really find anything. And because I've kind of stopped looking at things like online where I used to look for reviews and stuff like that, and I'd rather things just turn up on Spotify than like actively go and hunt things down, because I'm spending my time doing other things, like at the moment, playing guitar, practicing, trying to get better. And what else am I doing? I'm playing a lot of Path of Exile, to be honest.
What?
A lot of Path of Exile, a video game.
Okay.
On PC and on Xbox One. And there's a new season starting on Friday. So, that'll go live at like 9 p.m. local time here. And I'm just like, I wonder what my Friday night's going to be spent doing. And I just wish, I need to spend more time like actually hunting down music, or more just spend time listening to music.
Yeah, even if it's just on in the background,
Yeah, Yeah. But yeah, cool. So there's one last thing that I kind of wanted to talk about, which is
Yeah.
my fancy ocean machine,
Gear
which
porn,
is
gear porn, gear porn.
yay! So it's an effects pedal. It has 2 delays and a reverb. Now, two
Come
delays built
on.
into it and a reverb.
Why?
Because
Two
you
delays.
can
Why?
because you can ping pong between the two of them. It's
That's
amazing.
brilliant. I would never have thought to do that.
So
I
you
need
can
more caffeine,
set-
apparently.
Oh. So you can set it up in a stereo setup, which I have been doing.
Good.
So it's got you've got 2 inputs, your left and your right, and then your outputs left and right as well. You've got an expression pedal so you can control things. And then it's got 2 different styles of delay, which both of them have a tape, analog, and digital, but then they have different like single delays. So there's one that's like a low bit delay that puts like a bit crusher on the delay. One that is called Rainbow, and I cannot figure out how to make it sound good. One that's called Trimod, so it, like your echo, your repeats sound like are modulated.
Okay, cool.
Some interesting things, and you can ping pong between the 2 different delay styles as well, which creates some crazy sounds.
Oh, I like to try some of that out myself at some point.
Mm-hmm. And then you've got your reverbs. You've got your typical like plate, hall, and room reverbs, as well as like a spring reverb. And then you've got like a distorted reverb, which you play in the reverb itself is the bit that gets distorted, so you can play clean, and with your echoes like building up in space sound space. There you go. It becomes distorted and creates some interesting effects.
Nice.
There's a few others. You can set. There's a dial on it for shimmer, which is a digital. It's like a digital harmonic.
Oh, so it's an oral exciter.
I guess so.
AURAL as opposed to ORAL.
Yeah.
That's something different.
Yes. Oh dear.
I didn't get one dirty joke in on episode 100. So far I got 2 subversive ones. I'm doing good.
Yeah. So you've got this shimmer, and it creates this over the top. I don't use it that much at all. I usually have, if I use it, it'll be set to like 10%. And then
a little goes a long way with those things, I'm telling you.
Yeah, it's somewhat noticeable. And then on all of them, you control the mix, the tone, the feedback, and the time. I tend to have the times set slightly off. And then the mix is quite low, like quite well incorporated, and the feedback quite moderate as well. So you can create these massive sounds that just like propagate themselves and keep playing, and just create this massive background. And with the reverb as well, you can turn the mix way up or way down, and then you've got the tone and the decay. And the decay, having a decent set decay and reverb mix allows me to like play a chord and then just let it stay for ages.
Yeah.
And it sounds incredible. But what you can also do with this pedal is you've got an on-off switch essentially for the reverb delay in either of the delays. But if you step down on the stomp pedal for whichever of the ones you want to control, either the first delay, the second delay, or the reverb, it will freeze that effect.
Okay.
So you can, if you stomp down on the second delay, you can keep playing. It will then not let anything on the second delay decay. So it then builds up and up. So you can if you set your feedback to something like 10 to 15%, and you keep playing, it will slowly build up this feedback that's there. And
that sounds like chaos.
It's incredible. I'll send you some examples of it over.
Yes,
if I
please
can get
do.
it to work. And what you can do with it is just create these absolutely insane sounds that have so much character to them. But there was one time I was just playing 4 notes and like over and over again, and just like fiddling around with the thing, fiddling around with the pedal, holding it down, and like what you can do is you can hold the foot switch down,
Yeah.
and then you can modulate it from there with all of the controls.
Oh.
So you can then make things very interesting. And it is. Oh, it's the best pedal. It's so good. It's so much
So
fun.
Is it an amp emulator as well, or?
No, I have to put it into either my what's it called? My audio interface, and then through software
Okay.
amp models, or I need to go through my amp, which I can't at the moment because my amp is broken.
Yes, what's this about broken?
So
you were doing something with tubes the last time, right?
Yeah, I was getting replacement tubes for it, and I got the replacement tubes, and within less than an hour of playing it, the tubes were essentially gone again.
What?
So that means there's something not wrong with the tubes, but with the amp itself somewhere.
Yes.
So I need to identify where the fault in the amp is, because there's no way tubes will go out in an hour.
Not even close.
No. So I need to do some investigative work on my amp. Luckily, my dad did electronic stuff like that when he was in the Air Force. So
okay, cool.
He has a background in that, but he also did software and stuff like that. So he's a very handy person to know.
Nice.
So yeah,
good.
The two of us are gonna.
And you know him.
Bust the amp open. I know, right? Crazy. And we're gonna bust the amp open and try and figure out what the issue is, because.
How about you gently take it apart?
Yeah, I'll probably do that actually.
Yeah, busting sounds violent.
Yeah, and then yeah, I'm intending to sell the amp soon anyway. Because I'm moving.
Yeah,
and I can't take it with me. It's a bloody heavy bit of kit.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Had I been on my guitar adventure last time we spoke? Because I went to
I can't remember now.
a shop called Anderton's. Actually,
yes, you did. Yes, you did.
Did I have my Ocean Machine last time we spoke?
I must no. You didn't tell me that you did. You didn't tell me if you did.
No, because I was back living here, which means I must have still been in my apartment, which I hadn't been on the adventure and didn't have this pedal at the time, but I was intending to get it.
Okay.
So that puts that in. Right. So I went on a trip with my dad initially to try out an amp and a few guitars. I was going to try out some Telecasters, get to grips with them, see what they were like. Tried some Telecasters, and then the guy in the shop, he was like, I think there's a better guitar for you. So he bought me a Firebird with like the mini humbuckers in it.
Okay.
Oh, and it sounded bloody incredible. I was like, oh no, I need to rethink my whole life about guitars. So I went off and did that, rethought my life. But the amp I was playing through, I've tried since with different guitars. And the guitar I'm probably going to get when I get over to the States as well. I tried out a Victory V30, the Countess. Actually, we have talked about this amp before.
Yes, we have. That sounds very familiar.
I knew what amp I wanted to get because it's a British amp. And then I tried a 2x12 cab loaded with vintage 30s, this 42-watt head called the V30 or the Countess, and it was incredible. It's got no built-in reverb or anything. Luckily, I have a pedal for that.
I wish this was a video podcast just to see that. I totally forgot about that. That would have been a great gag.
Yeah. And then, tried out this amp called the V30, and it is just phenomenal sounding. Actually, in between the first trip and the second trip I went on, they released the Mark II version, which has like a different EQ contour to it.
Right.
That you can switch at a flick of a button. And it has a crunch mode as well as the distorted and the clean channels as well. And so it's a bit more tonally diverse. But, oh my God, I am really looking forward to
nice
playing with that. But
you're not getting that until you go stateside, right?
No, I'm not. So
Okay.
I've been looking into that. I've tried that out. It sounds incredible. I cannot wait to see what kind of fun stuff I can do with it. But I've also been trying out other guitars. When I went down to the shop, I tried out this Jackson Soloist that
Okay.
had like I don't know what pickups it had in it, but I think it was. No, I was gonna say it has. Nope. The one that I was trying out also had a. Oh, what was it? Oh, what goes with a JB in a guitar? You put a JB, Seymour Duncan JB, and another Seymour Duncan pickup, and it's like a JB in a 59, I think.
Maybe.
But JB in a 59, a pretty standard pickup setup in this Jackson Soloist. I tried it out. I was like, oh, this plays nicely, but it didn't sound that great. Then I picked up this Charvel that has a jazz in the neck and a full shred in the bridge, and I was just like, oh, this is the guitar for me. As a maple fretboard, and I was just like, oh my god, it's in a color called Purple Phase. It's got a Jackson. Nice. It's got a Jackson dinky body because Jackson and Charvel are owned by Fender now.
Yep.
And so it's got this like smaller sized body, but decently thick neck as well. Like it's the thickest neck of the guitars I've played, and it's incredible to play. It feels so good in the hands. I was like, oh my god, this is absolutely delightful to play. So yeah, I found this Purple Phase Charvel like dinky style, and it just sounded incredible through this amp. And I'm just like, oh my god, if I had a bit of reverb and like just like a crunchy tube screamer style pedal, oh, it'd be perfect.
Nice.
So, I've got my pedals, I've got my stuff. I just want the guitar and amp now. And I'm just like, oh, it'll be the best sounding thing you will have ever heard. I need to try and find a mic that will do it justice as well.
A microphone? Sennheiser E609.
Okay.
That's one of the little square face ones.
Okay. Yeah.
Try that.
That's one of the ones that's kind of looking at. Fair enough. Yeah. I will give that a look.
Because the 57 that you're using right now to talking to, that's fairly standard as well. But it's definitely got a character to it when you're miking up a guitar amp. The 609 is a little more well-rounded.
Yeah.
So it'll capture it a little bit more. Some of my favorite guitar sounds have been through a Sennheiser E609.
Nice. I've tried recording on my Blackstar using this mic, and I just can't get a reliable, decent sound out of it.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's but I also should probably be trying to like record with way fewer effects than I typically use.
Probably.
Yeah.
Just saying. Probably.
Yeah. We'll see.
That's it. There you go.
Crazy. Yeah. Well, Spencer. Anything else you want to add?
No, I'm actually not too bad. I'm good. I'm glad to see you're doing well. I didn't realize it had been 4 months since we had recorded together. Good God.
I know. I pointed that out the other day when I was chatting to Rachel. I was like, "Oh my God, it's been 4 months," because that was episode 100, and I know I haven't recorded with you since then.
Good God. That's unbelievable.
Flown by.
Yeah. No kidding.
Yeah. Crazy. Well, where can we find you across the internet?
You can find me on Twitter at SpencerInNL. You can also find me on the Rooster Teeth site under Gnu. Cool. I'm on CD Baby, Spencer Crew. Awesome. Search for me. And I guess that means I'm also on iTunes and Google Play and all that stuff, if you're interested in some of the music.
Awesome. I can be found across the internet at Destroy Topham or at Etherfar. That's like Twitter and Instagram, but I never tweet. I haven't posted a picture in probably 3 months. Oh no, probably longer than 3 months actually. I'm kind of like completely off social media, but that's just another issue. Oh well.
Yeah.
Crazy. Thank you for being my guest this week, Spencer.
Thanks for having me.
Awesome. And thank you everyone for listening. Have an exciting week. Goodbye.
Bye.